Hi folks, my name's Chuck Newt, and I'm with Winking Pig Barbecue, and you're watching another episode of Chuck's A-Cookin'. And tonight, whichever, we are making either turkey or chicken dressing to go with Thanksgiving dinner. And so, let me take you over here and show you what we've got going. What we've got here is a roasted chicken, and if you look back over here in the bottom left of your picture there of the chicken, you're going to see that it's kind of missing something, like a leg and a thigh, and that's because I ate it. If you look up in the right hand side of your screen, you should see a tag there to my video for roasted chicken, and this is the chicken. Now then, what we need, this is kind of a three-step kind of a thing here, and why we need the chicken or turkey, either one. We need the drippings out of it to make our dressing. So I'm going to get rid of the chicken and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so what we've got here, I told you this is kind of a three-part kind of a thing here, and what this is about a loaf and a half of plain store brand white bread that I've just broken up into, small little pieces. And you're going to have to do this the night before you're planning on making your dressing. And you just leave it sit open like this so it can dry out. Now you'll find that you may still have some pretty moist bread down underneath here, and that's alright. But we want to get some dry, we want to be able to have the bread absorb some moisture here in a little bit. So I did this, I broke this up last night, put it into the bowl. One thing you'll find, or I've found, and I've tried making this with whole wheat bread because for the most part that's what I eat, is whole wheat bread or cracked wheat bread. And I just do not like the flavor of the cracked wheat bread in my dressing. I've tried it, and there's a lot of things I like it in, but this is not one of them. And so I'm going to recommend to you this store brand white bread is fine, because you're really not going to be able to taste a high quality bread in this. So I'm going to move this out of the way until we need it, and we'll go move on to something else. I'll be right back. Okay, so into our pot, if you remember, or if you watched my roast chicken video, we removed a bag of contents out of the inside of the chicken before we cooked it. And so here I've got like the gizzard, the heart maybe, and the neck. So that's all going into the pot. Then we're going to take our pan of drippings, and we are just going to add this straight into the pot as well. This is the drippings from the chicken. It can be made with drippings from a turkey as well. So if you want to make this on the day of Thanksgiving, my family has definitely done it. Okay, so there's that. Now then we're going to take one container of chicken broth. We probably don't need all that, so I'm going to make it half a container of chicken broth. So that will go there. Okay, so we're going to take about 3 to 4 stalks of celery here. Cut off our ends, like so. Now, and we want to kind of make this a fairly small. In fact, we're going to do some dicing on this. We we don't want huge hunks of celery into our dressing. Now, and some people, my grandfather used to love oyster dressing, and it's all right to me, but you know, whatever floats your boat. I personally don't go out of the way for it. I prefer just regular dressing. Now I would actually put this dressing in more of a line of a savory bread pudding, I think. But around here, and ever since I've been growing up, and you know, everything, it was always called dressing, so that's what I go with. It's dressing. All right, it's got a pretty well chopped. That's going to go right into our pot. Okay. Now I've got a half an onion here, so half a sweet onion that I have left over from another project. And so we want to just go ahead and kind of dice this up a little bit. I'm going to take that almost all the way through like so. And again, almost all the way through like so. Now then, we're going to go just like this. And go here, and that's diced onion right there. Don't blame me. There you go, that's diced onion. It was sticking together, so I kind of had to prove my point. Yep. Good. Alright, now in this one we kind of got to go at it a little bit because we didn't cut all the way through on that end. There you go, diced onion. And you can do it pretty quick. Now this is a good sweet onion and it's not hot, not burning my eyes. So there we go, into the pot. Now we are going to take this over here to the stove and we are going to bring this to a boil for, I'm going to say, about 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. I don't want that neck falling apart in here and releasing all those little neck bones all throughout it, because I don't feel like fishing them out. We'll be right back. Okay, well, I'm actually back a little faster than I thought I was going to be. I forgot a couple very important things. I'm going to take about 4 cloves of garlic here. I'll smash them down like that a little bit. That's going to help us break the skin. I almost forgot because this is a from my head recipe, not a written recipe. I don't have anything written that I'm looking at over here beside me. So, a little peeling of the garlic here. No, I smashed it. Alright, get our skin out of the way here. We don't want that in the pot. We also don't want these little root ends off our garlic cloves into the pot. Not that they'd hurt you or anything, it's just that they may not cook soft. I don't know. Usually cut them off, so there it is. So we're just gonna kind of slice that up a little bit, like so. Okay. We're just going to take those, put it right into the pot. There we go. One other important ingredient that I kind of spaced there was sage. I am going to take a whole tablespoon of sage and put this right into our pot, and we may end up adding more. This is going to be one of those taste and go from there kind of things, but this is a sage based dressing. So now we're going to take it over to the sink, or to the stove, and we want to boil this for about 10 minutes. Now over here at the stove, I'm just going to give that sage a stir down in there like that. Also want to give this thing a little bit of a crack of pepper into it. And if I was guessing, I'd say we're going to put about a half a teaspoon of black pepper in here. Now our bird was actually pre-seasoned with parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And yes, I know the song, but and I would play a little bit of it here, but Simon and Garfunkel might get upset with me infringing upon their copyright if they still own the rights to it. So, like I said, I'm guessing a half a teaspoon there of fresh cracked pepper. Now we are just going to let that go until it brings to a boil, and we'll let it boil for about 10 minutes. Let's say, okay, yeah. Okay, so it's come to a boil now. What I need to do, I need to take a taste of this and find out if it's needing anything as far as flavor wise. Okay, well right now, kind of tastes like chicken broth is what it tastes like. Seasoned chicken broth. I'm going to put some more we'll put more sage into this. Okay, so I'm going to put about another half a tablespoon of sage into this. About like so. Right in. We'll just continue to boil for a minute. I'm also going to remove the neck. There we go. And the gizzard and whatever other chicken parts we've got in here. Now, and you notice I did not add the liver into my broth here. And you have no worries about me ever making a video with anything to do with liver of any kind. It's just not going to happen. So that's kind of a nice way of saying I do not like liver. My parents used to make us, as in us, my brother and I, they would make us sit at the table until we ate our liver and onions, and didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. Well, thought somewhere there was another piece of chicken in here. There. Small. I saw it briefly. in first. It just flashes. I guess I'll take it out when I go to, oh, there it is. Top. Okay, so that's all out of there. See if we can take another taste. This is supposed to be very heavily sage flavored. Closer. Closer, but I'm going to go with another half a teaspoon, half a tablespoon. There we go. Into the pot it goes. Rinse off my measuring spoon in there. So we've got the chicken out of it. I'm going to let it boil for another 5 minutes to give that sage chance to release its flavors into the mix. And these chicken parts can go outside to my next door neighbor's cat. After another taste, I think we got enough sage in here. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of sea salt in here. I think that's going to about have us there. Okay, so we got our broth over here, and we're going to start by getting all these goody vegetables, the onions and the celery out of there. We want all that. Now, when we start adding liquid to this bowl, you're going to see the bread really shrink a lot. If you watch my greens video and how they cook down, you're going to see this bread kind of shrink down like that as well. Okay. We're going to pour some of this in here. Combination of broth and drippings. Now we don't want to go too far. Too much is not a good thing with this. And if we have to, we can always add more of this chicken broth into the mix. Now you can see it beginning to shrink down on itself. By the way, we are preheating our oven to 350 degrees. You gotta really be careful with how much liquid you add into this, because it's easy to go too far real quick. It's kind of one of those things that the further you get into it, the more a little bit does, if that makes sense. Now this is not going to be a dry and crumbly kind of a thing when it's done. It's more of a casserole, and that's why I say it's more like, in my mind, like I said, we call it a dressing, but in my mind it's more like a bread pudding, and you cut it like a casserole. And you see it's starting to come together. But you want stirring it, it's not going to hurt it. And if you don't stir it, in fact, you might have a really big wet spot that will transfer its liquid, so to speak, or moisture to the other dry bread in here. We're getting closer all the time here. The goal is you don't want to see dry bread in this. Just a little more. And once about the time it gets to where you can't see dry bread in there is when you've got enough moisture Now, I still got just a couple little teeny pieces of dry in here. And once we get this mixed, no, it's not cooked yet, we're going to take a taste of it, because now is, or when we get this stirred and we got all our dry bread moisturized, so to speak, it's going to be our last chance to add any seasoning to this. Okay, I'm going to call that pretty well moisturized. I think that'll do. Now then, right over here, we'll set that on the stove. So right here I've got a 2-quart baking dish, Pyrex baking dish. We're just going to spoon this right in there. Now this, volume-wise, has worked out virtually perfectly. Like I said, this was a loaf and a half of bread that was broken up. You're going to have to forgive me, but I'm going to touch it. My food, I can put my fingers in it. There we go. That about has it. So we are going to stick this into the oven. So into our 350 degree oven we go. And we'll check on this in about a half an hour and see what it looks like. Okay, so our half hour has gone by. We're going to pull this open, kind of take a look at things. And I don't think it's quite there yet, but see, it's even a smear on the knife, and that's an indication that it needs some more time. So I'm going to put the timer on for about another, well, I'm going to say 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I'll go 10 minutes, and we'll come back and take a look at it. Okay, time to take another look at this thing. Definitely look a little bit closer to done now. I'll leave it just a few more minutes, but first I'm going to put some foil over the top of this thing. There we go. Okay. We're just going to leave that in there. Give it another 10 minutes here. Okay, so the timer has gone off. I am going to remove it out of here. I'm going to set it up here on a heating hot pad. That was pretty good. Okay, so there we are, out of the oven. And let me grab my knife here real quick. There you go. That's looking much better. That's going to have a little bit on here. I also want to leave it a little moist. Reason being is because I am going to freeze this. I am going to take a little piece out of it, but I'm going to freeze it. And it is going with me on Thanksgiving Day. And just kind of break this around the corners. So I'm going to let it rest for about half an hour here before I try to put it in my mouth, because it did just come out of a 350 degree oven, you know. And so it's my belief that it's quite warm. There we go. Okay, so we'll be back in half an hour. Alright, so I'm breaking out the good china here. Because between the chicken and the dressing here, I've got enough dishes to do. I'm going to give this a little cut like so. Get it out of here. That's the way it's supposed to look. Alright, come on over here with me and we'll finish this out. Okay folks, so we got my turkey dressing here, or my chicken dressing actually in this case, but it can be, like I told you, it can be done with turkey, no problem. So, let me get a little bite here. Very nice. I'm going to tell you, with Thanksgiving, if I've got the turkey, I've got the dressing, and I've got cranberry sauce, that pretty much makes Thanksgiving for me. I mean, I love it all, but as long as I got those three things, I know it's Thanksgiving. Folks, I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. There's more to come.